Hi, I'm Tiffany Cruikshank. Welcome to Glow. And this class is for the second phase of your cycle, the follicular phase. This is the phase where the follicles are developing and growing, and the lining is developing in the uterus. In Chinese medicine, this is a really important phase to cultivate yin. Yin is responsible for the growth of the follicles, for the quality of the eggs, and for the thickening of the lining. So a really important phase to support some stillness and downtime, which is where our body's energy can shift internally to produce, to develop, to grow. Think of this as the rebuild phase of your cycle. We'll also do a little bit to support circulation, to gather some nutrients and create a little bit of movement in the pelvis to begin with, before we settle into that more yin phase. So have either a couple of blankets or a couple of towels close by. That's all you'll need this time around. And then we're going to start seated. Find a comfortable seat there. We're going to start with some Kapalabhati to start the circulation in the pelvis. So if you sit up nice and tall, take a deep breath. Let it go. And then focusing on the movement of the belly with your breath, take a deep breath in. We're pumping the belly in and out. As you continue, think about this circulation pumping through the pelvis and the abdomen. You had about 15 more rounds. And then exhale it out completely. Take a deep breath there. Exhale, let it go. And stay in that seated position. Take an inhale to extend the spine with your hands on your thighs. And we're going to make circles with the torso. Exhale to round back. Inhale to come forward. And don't overthink the breath here. Just starting to make circles with the torso. And noticing as you do this that we're also trying to make circles with the pelvis. Rib cage and pelvis moving in a circular direction here. And then switch directions, creating a little bit of warmth and circulation to the pelvis, the spine, the hips. Just trying to make that circle as big as you can without forcing. And then come back to center. You can remove your roll there. We're going to come into two options here. One is taking the left foot to the inner seam of the right leg, Janu Shirshasana. The other option, if you're comfortable with it, is to point your toes. You're going to come onto the top of your left foot and put the heel in your perineum. If that's not comfortable on your knee or leg, just skip it and come to a foot to the inseam. On your inhale, lengthen the spine. And on your exhale, just walk the hands forward. Close your eyes if you're comfortable there, and draw your awareness to the pressure at the pelvic floor, using some compression to create circulation up through the uterus, to draw nutrients in through the blood flow, to help prepare, to help support this rebuilding cycle, to nourish. Take another breath there. And on your inhale, walk the hands back in and just switch sides. And ideally do the same variation on the second side. So either foot to inner seam of the leg, or I'm pointing the toes and coming onto the top of my foot on the ground and heel in my perineum. Take an inhale there. Exhale, walk the hands forward. Again, just see if you can allow yourself to be still here. Close your eyes, drawing your awareness down into the pelvic floor, right above it into the uterus. And just noticing sensations there. the qualities, the awareness here, whatever you find. Allowing yourself to take in this quality of life as it manifests in your sensations here in this moment. On your next inhale, walk the hands in. Slowly come off of the heel there and come into tabletop. On your inhale, extend your spine. And on your exhale, round your spine. Adding on your inhale, extend your spine. Now starting at the base of your spine, in the pelvis, start to round pelvis as you start to lean back, letting that ripple up your spine until your head comes to the floor, last in child's pose. Inhale, come right back up, extend. Start at the base of the spine and the pelvis. Exhale, start to lean back. Head comes down last. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round and sit. Inhale to extend. Exhale to round. Inhale to extend. And then this time, as you exhale, round and sit back, grab your blanket and take it with you. I'm going to sit up for a moment, bring my knees a little closer, take my hands into fists, bring them right into the front of the groin, right into the front of the hip crease. And then keep that and rest this point between my eyebrows right on the blanket. This calming point between the eyebrows. Using that gentle compression in the groin to draw circulation now around the ovaries and those follicles starting to develop, to grow. Bringing in the nutrients to support this growth phase. And as we support this internal growth, that means that we need to draw more of our energy inside of the body. Our awareness externally to our awareness internally. Come back up. Now take your hands into one fist. Place it right above the pubic bone. And lean forward again. Creating that compression around the uterus. Allowing the stillness in each of these poses to be your nourishment. As your focal point, as your energy draws internally into the organs, out of the muscles and the periphery. All of these processes that you can't necessarily sense or feel. On your inhale, come back up. And then set your roll aside. And you're going to come onto your hands and knees and take your right leg forward for pigeon. Now, if you'd like a little something under your right hip, you can put it under your hip there so you can be comfortable. And sit up nice and tall. We're going to come into the Kapalabhati breath again. So as you sit up tall, take a deep inhale. Pumping the belly in and out. Exhale it out completely. And then walk your hands forward. And again, maybe you want something under the third eye. If you're lying flat here, you could place your blanket there, or you can stay on your elbows. Folding forward into a comfortable position so you can just stay. And mentally mark this stillness as the nourishment. Perhaps you can sense this internal landscape, this awareness of energy moving through the body. As you direct your awareness under the skin, the internal body. And sense that your body's energy, this ATP in the body, can move from the muscles and the movements and the thinking into the organs, the nourishment, the growth happening in the reproductive organs, follicles, the lining. Take a deep breath. And on your inhale, come on up. And you're just going to switch sides. So move your blanket if you had one there. Take the left knee forward and start upright first. So place that blanket under your hip if you want it. Take an inhale there, starting with our Kapalabhati. Exhale it out. And then coming forward. Again, finding a similar setup to allow yourself to be still. Sensing the circulatory changes through the pelvis. Maybe that's a sense of warmth or movement or vibration. Using that circulation to gather the nutrients to rebuild in this phase. Just by being still. Take a deep breath there. And just slowly start to re-support yourself. And come on out. You're going to take one of the rolls, one of the towels here, or blankets, and you're going to roll it up. And you just want it a few centimeters in diameter. So you can find a comfortable diameter when you come into it, depending on the size of your blanket or towel. And you're going to place that roll right in the abdomen. It's right in the soft part of the belly between the pelvis and the ribs. Coming into Sphinx pose, but letting your shoulders relax. So you can bring your hands together if you prefer. Place them on the floor. And then using your breath as you inhale, press that roll away with your belly. As you exhale, letting the roll sink into your belly as you soften. Repeating that inhale, gently pressing the roll away. Exhale, sinking in a little deeper. You soften through the layers. And using this gentle compression to stimulate local circulation through the pelvis and the abdomen. Seeing if you can sense those circulatory changes, however they manifest, those qualities or sensations. Take one more breath there. And then just let your breath be natural for a moment. Let the roll sink in. And then slowly resupport yourself and come up so that you can roll up that roll just a little bit more. So it's a little thicker, maybe 4 or 5 inches in diameter. And you're going to come down to lie on your back so that your hips are right on that roll. You might even just take it out from under you to start with. And then take it right underneath your pelvis. You're going to have your sacrum on the roll there. Try and take your low back off of it. So let your low back drop toward the floor here. Make sure you're comfortable and there's nothing really behind your neck or your head. So move your hair off to the side. And then take your left knee into your chest and just grab a hold of it loosely and extend your right leg out. And just relax. Let your pelvis drape over the roll as you close your eyes. Feel the back of your ribs drop into the ground. Feel your foot drop into the ground. Soften the space between the bones of the foot. Relax the toes. Take a deep breath there. And just slowly start to switch sides. Grab a hold of the right knee and extend the left leg out. And let it just be loose and relaxed. So you're loosely grabbing the knee. Soften the lower back toward the floor. As you let your pelvis just kind of drape over the roll. Leaning into the roll. Feel the heaviness of the foot, the space between all of the small joints of the foot. Relax the toes. Notice the qualities and sensations rippling from the pelvis out through the body. As if you were to drop a pebble in a lake right in the center of the pelvis. The ripples of sensations and awareness spreading out from there. Take a deep breath. And then just slowly start to bring both feet back to the ground. Lift your hips, remove your roll. You're just going to roll onto your right side. Grab your roll again and just place it underneath the right side of your ribs, below your armpit, and grab your second roll. Now, this one you'll have to decide based on your neck if you want to double it up, but find the right thickness so that you can stretch your right arm out to the side and rest the blanket under your head. And then we're going to take the left arm up overhead, just getting into a little bit of side bending, a little bit of opening through the left side of the body. Once you've found a comfortable position, just stay and feel free to just let that left arm hang however it lands. The elbow could bend, it could be slightly in front or behind. Find a comfortable position, and if none of that works, just rest the left arm along your side. Notice the quality of the breath, moving effortlessly through that left side of the torso, washing through ribs, waist, pelvis. Sensing the stillness as your nourishment. Take a deep breath. With as little movement as possible, we're going to switch sides. So just release the left hand, bring it to the floor in front of you. So you can just roll to your left side. And set up the same way with the left arm straight out in front of you. Rest the blanket under your head and the second blanket under the left side ribs. Make sure you're really comfortable there, and then just drape the right arm overhead. Feel your body drop into the support underneath you. Feeling that support provide a place where you can lean in and allow your energy to shift internally to nourish, to rebuild, to prepare. Take a deep breath there. Again, just slowly release the right hand to support you so you can come up for our final pose. You're going to take both blankets here and you want to kind of roll them up in a similar fashion because we're going to put them under our knees for Supta Baddha Konasana. So for this one, you're going to lie back, place the soles of your feet together, and then just find the right thickness. If you're feeling like there's a lot of stretch in the inner thighs, just roll up your towels or your blankets a little bit more, or maybe just draw them in closer toward the hip. But you want your pelvis on the ground. Need anything else to get comfortable here? We're moving towards Shavasana. Take the arms out slightly to the side so you can relax your shoulders. Close your eyes. Entering this Shavasana state. Making sure for a moment there that you feel really supported there. So there's very little stretch, if any, in this pose. Feeling that support under your thighs so that you can let your thigh bones be heavy, dropping into the roll. And as you drop your thigh bones, feel your lower back start to soften. And that sense of ease ripple up the spine. Feel the brain start to drop back into the back of the skull as you soften through the temples, all the way down through the base of the skull and the neck. And then bring your awareness into the pelvis. Noticing that sea of sensations. Again, like dropping a pebble in a pond, right in the pelvis. Noticing the awareness and sensations rippling out from the pelvis out through the rest of the body. Now, I recommend if you have some time to stay here, and on days during this cycle where you don't have the full time to practice, this is a great pose to come back to on its own. So feel free to come back to this one if you have a little less time. And stay and linger here as long as you like, feeling that essence of nutrition, circulation, of nourishment radiating out from the pelvis through the body as you allow yourself just to take it in. Be kind to yourself today. Namaste.